In this video, we're going to take a look at a new tool we have in Betmix called Fusion. When you come to the main screen in Fusion, you'll see a list of races. They're listed chronologically. The race coming up soonest here is at Churchill Downs in 2 minutes, and then as you scroll down the list, you see all the stuff that's happening later in the day. You can also pick a race from the drop down up here by selecting a date, a track, and a race number. This will allow you to go forward if we have races listed for tomorrow or the next day, and the most helpful thing, of course, is to go back in time, look at a historical race, play with the tool, see if you could have come up with a winner. It's a good way to learn it and get better at handicapping. So we'll go ahead and we'll pick a race that's getting ready to start. We'll pick this Mahoning Valley race. It's 11 minutes out. And when you come into Fusion, what you'll see on the left-hand side of the screen is kind of the information about the factors. And we've called this Fusion because we're bringing in a lot of the stuff that you can see in Betmix, but uh, we're making it a little bit easier by incorporating a lot of really good stuff from Angler that may be hard for some people to get to and a little bit time consuming to do on a race by race basis. So this hopefully brings all that stuff together and gives you some valuable information when you're handicapping. So what you see here is a list of factors on the left-hand side of the screen, and it's each factor and every horse within that factor and where they're ranked and how often that position, that ranking position, is won in the past, what the ROI is, and what the value is. So this is based on historical races, of course, and it's based on similar field size, track, distance, surface. In class. So in 6 furlong dirt claiming races at Mahoning Valley that had exactly 6 starters, we find 75 races. In cases where you're looking at a race that may be run infrequently, like some kind of graded turf race at a weird distance, we may have to relax the conditions a little bit in terms of being exact. So we may expand it from just grade 2 to include grade 1 and grade 3. If we still don't get enough races, we may go to other tracks to see if there's similar races at other tracks. But those are special cases for your most common race types. It's going to find enough historical similar races on its own, and you don't have to go out and go beyond that track. So this tells you how many there were, and then so it tells you which factor based on win percentage was the most predictive. You can see all that information. It scrolls down to the bottom. You can see the rankings, being ranked 6th in best speed last 3, only won 5.8% of the time, whereas being ranked 1st in ranked 1 or 2 total, which if you're familiar with Angler, this is a factor you have seen in there. And basically what this factor does is it looks at how many factors you're ranked 1st or 2nd in. So it's kind of a derivative factor, but it's something from Angler that's very predictive. So what we've also done here is we've brought in some of the other stuff that's in Bird Dog that hasn't been available as a factor in the past. So for example, if you scroll down the screen here, you'll see that we've brought in stuff like quick handicapping, the blend, the hit the board, the long shot, the top 10, the win percent. Those are and so this tells you in this kind of a race how often that particular algorithm was correct. And so horses rank 1st in the blend won 26% of the time, rank 1st in hit the board 25%. And so you can kind of rely on those or judge those canned handicapping approaches that are in Bird Dog in this tool, and it scores them for you. So it's very, very useful. So again, let's take a look. We'll go back to the beginning here, and we're going to look at all the factors and all the horses and how they're ranked, and all of that is summed up over here in this thing called the current view. So based on all this, if you look at all the positions where number 5 is ranked across all factors, you get an average win percentage of 19.58, and the lowest is the 1 with 11.4. And the ROI and the value is done the same way. Of course, the ROI means if you bet across these 75 races, if you bet $2 to win on every horse ranked 1st in score, you would have made $7.40. Whereas if you would have bet every horse ranked 1st in 1 or 2 total, you would have lost $17.40. Now the value is the key to this, and that's computed simply by looking at the current odds of the horse. These are live odds, so when they change up here, they'll kind of blink. So that one 10 to 1, 4 to 1. And then these values will also change based on those odds. So when you look at horse number 3, for example, he's 2.5 to 1 or 5 to 2. And if you convert those odds 5 to 2 to a percentage, it's roughly 28%. So 28.6%. That's so when somebody says it's 5 to 2, that's the public saying we think this horse has a 28.6% chance of winning. Well, we know that if you're ranked first in score, you win 34% of the time. So if that was the only way you wanted to evaluate this horse, then it's a positive value. You're getting a 6% value on that horse. Whereas if you were looking at, we'll sort it the other way, lengths beaten. So this looks at how many lengths each horse was beaten over its last 3 races. If you're ranked 6th in that, which is in a 6-horse field, that means you're the worst. You only win 5.3% of the time. So horse number 5, who's the favorite, that's a negative 36% value. So that's not a good value for that particular factor. Now, of course, favorites are always going to have lower values than long shots. So if we look at the highest values, they're all going to be on, well, in this case, the 6, but he's 9 to 1. And there's a lot of positive value based on how this horse is ranked across these factors right here. So again, all that information is summed up over here in this table right the smaller current view table. Now, this is a lot of information, and of course you may not want to consider all of it. So you can reduce what you see on this main screen over here by coming down here into this box. You can see when I hover my mouse over it, it highlights it, and I can click on it and I have a bunch of options down here. So the first one is win percentage. So if I move this slider, it's restricting what's on this screen based on what the win percentage has got to be greater than something. So if I say I want to only see factors with a win percentage greater than 20, I can set that here, and as you can see now on this list, only factors that have a win percentage, factors and horses ranked within those factors, win percentage of 20% or higher. I can do the same thing on ROI. So let's say that I wanted to look at horses that had a win percentage of higher than 20 and an ROI that was positive. So historically, if I bet all of those types of horses, would it be positive? So again, now ROI is greater than 0. So here's the list of factors that win at higher than 20% clip and have a positive ROI. All right, well, that's great. Now let's see if there's any that have positive ROI, 1% greater than 20, and a positive value. And I can do that same thing down here with the value column as well. So I'm going to make the value something positive on this screen. So its value's got to be greater than 0, win percentage is higher than 20, and these are the qualifying factors. You can see that just changed as the odds changed. So this is 0 minutes to post, and there's going to be a lot of action on the odds. So based on these factors that qualify, and you can see some of them just dropped out of the screen because the odds changed, they no longer qualified probably on value. This is a summation of just this information now. So based on that, the 3's got the highest win percentage. It's got a positive ROI of 1520, and the value is 8.75. But the overall highest value here would be on the 1, but it's on last race class and last purse. So it's it's kind of up to you at that point to determine the summation of this information if it's something you're willing to bet on or not. So I'll go back down here and I can hit this clear button, and that takes me back to the beginning, and I'm seeing all the factors again, and none of these sliders are applied. Now if I don't want to see all of these factors, I can limit that as well by going down here, and I can click on factors. So so by default we can see that they're checked, all of them are checked, so they're all going to display. If I click this top box up here that says select all or select none, select all, select none. So I've got none selected, but let's just say I wanted to click on a couple of speed factors. So the factors are listed here alphabetically by default. I can click on this and I can choose by category. So now all the speed factors show up together, and then you have some of the quick handicapping stuff, and then jockey and trainer stats, and so you can find them that way, or you can find them alphabetically. So I'll go down here and I'll click on I just want to see speed last race, for example. So I go through this list and I click on speed last race, and we'll add another last E2 pace. So now I've just got two factors in this list, speed last race and last E2 pace. And I'm looking at every horse, all rankings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for each factor. And based on those two factors alone, the 4 is the bet that I should make. Now, let's say I don't care about something that's ranked 6th in a factor or 5th. So I can go back and say, well, I just want to see those two factors, but I also just want to see horses that are ranked 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in those factors. So now that's all you see. You see horses ranked 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in speed last race, last E2 pace. So I should have, I have a total of 6. So you can limit through this box down here which factors you see, which ranks you see, what the minimum win percentage, ROI, and value is that you want. So let's, again, I'll add a couple more factors. We'll add trainer 1 year and maybe win percentage and links beaten and last race class. So I've got a group of factors here, ranked 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And let's say I only want to see stuff if the win percentage is greater than 15. So these are the factors that I've limited. I've kind of filtered out. I've picked the factors I wanted to see, the ranks within those factors, and what win percentage I have. And so I'm, if this is what I determined to be a good way of handicapping a race to find the most likely winner as well as positive value, I might want to save this. So I can come down here, and I have the option to save this, just like you do a mix. I can come over here, save it, and I'll call it my best factors, and I'll hit save. And so now when I go pick a different race, I'll just go back to the race list, and I'm going to pick Aqueduct Race 5. And I don't have to go through that whole exercise again of selecting factors and ranks and win percentages and whatnot. I'll have all that saved in the list. And for some reason this one, there it goes. It's loaded. So I can come over here, I can hit load, and then I click on my best factors, and it's done all that filtering for me, and I've saved it. Now let's say I love this one. I want to make it my favorite. So I can, there's a little star icon. I can click on that. My favorite factor, or my favorite setting is now my best factors. And when I go back to this box, I have this favorite, and I can click on that and it shows up here. Now, all the save factors you have, or all the save settings, I should say, I have this box with all of my settings. I can grab it and kind of move it around. So I'll move it over here so I can see all the rankings. So let's say this one here is all the factors just where you're ranked first. And I can look at that and say, well, it's the 1. If I click on pace, these are all just a bunch of pace factors. Trainer jockey. So you can have a bunch of saved settings and kind of real quickly just kind of cycle through them to see, if you're getting the same horse in different areas or not, depending on how you want to handicap it. So we'll go back and we'll clear it all out again. We'll take a look at some other stuff that's in Fusion. So let's say that we're looking at this race. We see that in this particular race, this 9 furlong dirt claiming at Aqueduct, with 7 starters, the most predictive factor has been average best 2 of the last 3 speed. If I click on this from the list, it'll pop up and it'll tell me, it'll give me a definition of what that factor is, but it also gives me the rank 1 through 7 and what the win percentage for being in each of those ranks is and which horse that is. So again, I can say, oh well, number 2 is ranked first in that. If I click on one of these horses, it'll pop up a PP view for that horse, and it gives you a lot of great information within this PP view. Of course, you've got the typical view that you would see in Bird Dog or in our PDFs. A lot of workout information, as well as the top 10 factors for this horse. So which 10 factors does this horse rank highest in terms of win percentage? So we know that it's ranked first in average best 2 of the last 3 race classes, and last E2 pace, and what are the win percentages for those particular rankings? These are its 10 best. If I click this little arrow over here, it kind of scrolls through, and I'm looking at every horse. I can go back and forth, or I can just pop out of this and pick another horse up here, 7. I can get at it that way as well. Keep in mind, these rankings over here again are based on what you have on this screen, kind of averaged out, and it's the same order. So 2, 1, 3, 5, 6, 4, 7, 2, 1, 3, 5, 6, 4, 7. It puts them in that order. If I were to change, and let's say I'll go to pace, you can see that the order has changed: 2, 3, 4, 1, 6, 5, 7. So it puts them in order of what you have in the current view over here. At the top, you've got the odds information. Now let's say, I'll go back to my favorite one we just created, and let's say we like, based on that, we like the 3. It's the top ranked horse. It is actually providing some value based on these factors and where it ranks within those factors. If I want to bet it, I can click win, place, show, and I've bet $1 win, place, show on this horse. Well, I each time I click the W, I'm adding $1 to the win. Each time I click the S, I'm adding $1 to the show. Or I can come down here with the arrows and just get it up that way, or I can highlight it and hit whatever I want down here and make those bets. If I wanted to do an exacta, it pops up this way, and I could say, give me let's do an exacta box with my top 3 horses, 3, 2, and 5. Dollar exacta box, $6. Okay, let's place the bet, and you'll see that green check appear, and the bet will populate over here, so you know that that's a live bet, and you have that amount of money on it. I can click the cancel button and get rid of that bet. Now, I'm sure you all know this, but this is all through ExpressBet. So if you don't have an ExpressBet account, you can't take advantage of the betting. But you can still use the tool. You just can't bet through ExpressBet. If you want to do any of the live wagering here, get yourself an ExpressBet account. So again, back win, place, show, exacta, trifectas, and superfectas can all be placed pretty easily here. You can box them or do key boxes, or straight keys. So this is kind of a quick interface for making wagers, and you can do that. The idea here, of course, is that you're looking for value, and as we know, a lot of this stuff changes the closer you get to post time. So what may be value 10 minutes to post may not be value 1 minute to post. So we'll clear this out and take a look at it overall again, and based on all factors, the 2's the top pick, and I've got based on that 2, 3, 5 exacta box I had down here. So this is Fusion. It's again, it's all about value and finding the best reasons to bet on a horse. So if you're looking at a race and you're really trying to determine who has the best chance, and then which horses are providing value. So we've had it in beta testing for a little over a month. Feedback's been great. I've been using it regularly. I'm really surprised at how often I use this now compared to some of the other stuff in Betmix. It just kind of makes it a lot easier to look at the types of things that I find important. How often does this type of horse win, and based on that, is this a good deal or not? And that value column really points that out to you. So you're going to hopefully make smarter bets, and you're making bets for good reasons. Stats are what they are. The stats are accurate, and because a horse like this has won this percentage of times in the past, all you can do is kind of hope that holds up today, and if it does, are you getting a good deal on that or not? So this will help you answer those kinds of questions. Some other stuff on the screen real quickly. This box up here, that's the Fusion icon. If you click on that, that'll take you back to the race list or to Betmix or to the tutorial or help. You can schedule help. If you click on this link here, this will pop up a menu that allows you to create an appointment to get a free tutorial session. And you can do this. If I clicked on this, it's going to show me the dates that are available. If I click on the 16th, I'd pick an available time slot. I can create a profile, or I can just skip it. Just put in your name and your phone number, and then book it, and your email address as well. That's all we need. We don't need this other stuff, your address or anything like that. Just your first name, your phone number, and your email. Click book it, and then we'll have a one-on-one training session that could be about Fusion or it could be about anything in Betmix. So we offer this for all the tools, whether it's bird dog or angler or tote boarding or anything you're interested in. We can help you out with a 30-minute session, and hopefully we'll get to talk to a lot of y'all about this tool and answer any questions you have going forward. So hope you take a look at it and enjoy it as much as I do, and as much as the people who've been using it have over the last month or so. Hopefully it'll give you a lot of winners. Thanks a lot for your time. Look forward to talking to you. Bye.